Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Please make sure you like, share, comments. So, I'm trying to see the comments. I still can't see the comments. So, give me just a second. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started because it is 7:03 and I like to be conscientious of people's time. I'm going to be looking over here. I don't know if it's okay. I can see the comments over here. So, hello everyone. Hope you had a happy Friday. Welcome to episode 2 of the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. Episode 1, just a recap, we went over what we offer. We offer a bi-weekly podcast. We offer a writing and tutoring services. We also offer merchandise. So if you would like to support the merchandise launching, which will come real soon, there's an Amazon wish list that I will pin after this live video. It is on our page and everything. So if you would like to donate to the PayPal, you can do that so at those times, and I'll put that in the comment after the podcast. So welcome to episode 2. So episode 1, we also talked about a little of my testimony and just normalizing mom behaviors and just normalizing a lot of things, like allowing yourself as a first-time mom to be who you are to be, not what somebody else wants you to be or anything like that. So you do as you're supposed to. Hey, thank you. So this episode we're going to talk about grace. So we'll use this in the sense of a different, like a whole lot of, when I say grace, not just in like one aspect of your life, but in a lot of aspects of your lives. So, again, I will say, disclaimer, I am not a therapist, nor do I have that training, and this podcast is not to separate or be a substitute for therapy or any. This is a safe place for us, young people, old people, period, to talk about different issues and things that can help each other and help you ultimately collect your life. So in the way of grace, and please share this video, like, share, comment. Please share this video to your timelines. Tag people in it that you think would be beneficial. So with grace, we have to first allow ourselves grace. This was something that I had to learn myself recently, especially. I thought I had understood it, but I don't know if I did. So with grace, we have to allow ourselves grace. When I'm saying that is, if you have goals, if you have things that maybe you have set forth, you've been journaling, you have things that you want to be a part, like do, you have this plan set forth. If you're like me, I am a planner, and I had my life planned, and I thought it was going to go a certain way, even though the Lord said, no, that's not how it's gonna go. So I like to plan ahead. I don't like my time being wasted. I'm that type of person. But I had to allow myself grace because I had set goals for set by age. Like, oh, I'm going to have a house by age 30, or I'm going to be done with school by age 30. And here I am finishing up my doctorate at 31. I wasn't trying to tell my age at first. Hey everyone, please like and share. I'm able to see the comments. Hey Terenicia, hey Nakia, hey, I don't see everybody who's on here, but make sure that you, again, allow yourself grace. Like, you have to give yourself that, like, okay, first, if you are walking in your purpose, you're walking in your destiny, you're walking how you're being led, there is no reason why you cannot allow yourself grace. We can be our biggest critic sometimes. We can beat ourselves up. We can think, oh, I'm supposed to be like this, this, and this, and you cannot do that. Let me tell you why. So, and I'm giving you my life experiences. So, for example, I talked about last podcast briefly about how I wanted a child right after I got married, and it didn't happen for 5 years. And I had to allow myself grace because I thought, like a lot of women who may be trying to conceive or trying to have children, maybe thought they were less of a woman, maybe just thought like, maybe it's not for me. Just so much doubt and everything was in my mind. But God had another plan, because she was my fuel and ticket to leave that fraudulent covenant. So we're gonna move from that because I don't want to dwell on that. So, but also, growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer so bad. It was my dream. Like, my mom, I don't know if she's still on here, but I wanted to be a lawyer so bad, and it was my dream. That was my goal. I said, okay, by this age, I'm going to be finished with undergrad. By this age, I'm going to be done with I'm going to be done with my law degree, and then I'm gonna start practicing, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. That was not the path I was supposed to go. It was what I wanted to go, but it was not the path. So I had to allow myself grace, because I would start beating myself up. I would start being insecure. I would start letting doubt and fear come into my mind. Like, you have to allow yourself grace first. So if you think you're supposed to be where you are, just keep pushing, to keep striving for your goals, keep going in your purpose. If you know that you're destined and you're being led by the Lord to go wherever you're supposed to go, make sure you do that. So also, you have to allow grace to people. This is something that I guess a lesson I learned, but I'm relearning in this season of grief and transition in my life. So I have to understand and know that everyone is not me. I can't expect me from everyone. Therefore, I have to allow people grace. So let me say that again. You cannot expect you from other people. So that means, let me give you an example. Let me break it down for you. So I am a person who, I'm trying to set my timer too. I am a person who tries to go above and beyond for my friends, for my family, etc. If it's a birthday, if it's something, I'm trying to be personal with it, to the point to where my therapist says I have to balance myself. Like, I have to really balance myself. So, like, if I can make whatever your event is, I'm going to be there. Like, I'm going to. If I can, and I know a lot of people who are on this live, my best friend, I know a lot of my other friends, we're like-minded. And so if we can be there, we're gonna be there. Like, if I can be there for you, I'm gonna do it. If I can send, if I can do it. I still have, now I am bad on gifts, because I have gifts in my car that I need to mail to people. But anyway, let's move on. So, but I will spend my last, yes, therapists, yes, they're good. Jesus and therapy is good. So if I can be, I will spend my last on people. And I have spent my last on people. And didn't matter to me. It was my last because I was like, I'm doing this because I love you. So I was expecting me from others. And I had to realize that they're not me. They don't think like me. They don't understand. They don't love like me, if that makes sense. Or they may not care like me. So therefore, when I was expecting this to happen from people that I have been, close to, whatever, for a long time, it didn't happen, and I was hurt. It hurt, especially in the time that I'm in. It's not gone away, but that I'm in. So I was like, oh, they're being funny. And so, but then it also revealed, because in this time also, before my dad passed, before everything, it was people that, revealed to me that you are not, you're their friend, but they're not your friend. That's why I had to break it down, just basically. You can be disappointed. Yes. So like you and I'm like my mom, she will give her last to people. And so you cannot expect you from other people. And like I was saying, I was expecting it. And it also in that moment, like I was saying, before my dad passed, before all this happened, it was like revealed to me that I'm these people's friends. You're their friend, but they're not your friend. And I was like, what, Lord? I said, they my friend. Oh no. And so then not long after my dad passed, and I saw it. But I couldn't dwell on it because I had to allow those people grace. I couldn't throw those people away. And boy, did I want to. I wanted to counsel them. And I think our culture, we've got into that cancel this person, cancel that person. They're excommunicated, this, that. They're, by like, forget them, all this cancellation of the people. But if you're walking in agape love, if you're walking in God's love, you cannot counsel people. Now, certain people that you do separate from, yes, but you still can love them from a distance. I couldn't just hate that person. Yeah, you can block them and love them from a distance. But you cannot cancel that person. Like, I wanted to cancel these people. I wanted to delete their numbers out of my phone. Like, myself wanted to delete their numbers out of my phone. I wanted to do so much. Like, I was like, I still have yet to hear from people. I heard from people about a whole lot of stuff that didn't have anything, like, literally, and it's so crazy. It literally was the day before my dad's funeral. I heard from these people. They never reached out to me about my dad, but they reached out about like something else. And I was just like, I ignored it because I was like, I thought they were sending me a text like, I'm praying for you, whatever. No, had nothing to do with that, and never have yet said anything. And that's why I learned, again, Lord showed me he was like, well, maybe you didn't learn this lesson, that you can't expect you from other people, but you cannot cancel them. You have to show them grace. Grace is the word for today. Like, you have to show them grace. Grace, love. They may not have the access to you. So like what grace looks like, I show you grace. I love you in Jesus' name. I love you. I promise I love you. If you call me, if the people call me today, I'll be there. I'm trying to look down because I'm looking at the comments too. I would have went ahead and blocked them. I would have canceled. It is hard, but the Lord convicted me, Nakia. So I couldn't cancel them. I couldn't block them. So respectfully, I couldn't block them. That's what I wanted to do. But some people, yes, can be blocked and still love. But some people, they're an assignment. And so I had to learn that difference real quick. Like, this is an assignment, not a covenant, and not a cancellation. Like, you have to learn those distinctions real quick. This is a person that's a assignment to you, that you're assigned to. This is a person that is a covenant that's gonna stay with you. And then this is cancellation. You cancel them, love them from a distance, but you don't have to reach out to them. Like, I had to learn that real quickly. Again, because I thought I had learned it, but I didn't. So, yeah. So, like I was saying, I was literally learning this lesson again. I couldn't expect me from other people, and I couldn't dwell on it. I had to allow them grace. So if somebody write in the comments, allow the people grace, show them love, but no access. Like, allow the people the grace. Give them grace. Love on them. Yes, categories. Yes. Yes, it has to be a place of love, Nalita. Yes. So like I had to allow them grace, and I'll put this. I'll try to put it in there. It won't let me be great. Show them love. The 1 Corinthians 13, that love, not just this fake love that's going around in the world. Show them true, genuine love, and then, but no access. So they can't access you like they think they can. They can't get to you like you still love them. You still showing them grace. But if they text, you might text like 2 days later. Or whatever. Or if they call and you know it's going to disrupt your peace and your spirit, wait until you're ready to come to that. Especially if you're in a place like me of grief. Like, because literally I'm in it. Like, I'm fending for myself right now. Like, if it ain't me, Carrie, my mama, I can't pour from an empty cup. So I can't give all of me, and I'm already an intercessor in the classroom, so I'm already pouring out for the kids, because you feel their spirit, you feel these people's spirit, so I can't give you what I don't have. So if they take it from your spirit, if you feel that they're going to take from your spirit, don't answer the call. Wait a few days. They ain't going to know that you didn't answer that call unless they watch this live. I mean, if they one of those people. But I'm just saying, like, if you have to set the boundaries, yes, set the boundaries. Because if you don't, people will run all over it. You have to set the boundaries for sure. So another thing that I wanted to talk about with grace is, okay, so we first, if you missed, you're catching the back end. First, we talked about allowing ourselves grace. So we have to really allow ourselves grace. If we think that we're supposed to be at this point in our life, we're supposed to be you thought that by 22 you're supposed to have your degree, you're supposed to be graduated, you should have a job. The Lord said, 23 or 24, that's when you're going to graduate. So, but just because you graduate at 24 doesn't make you less successful than you would have been at 22. And the same thing with me. Just because I became a mom at 29 doesn't mean I'm less of a mom or less of a woman because I became a mom at 29 instead of 24 when I got married. It was stuff I had to go through, because if I had became a mom at this time, my child would have witnessed some stuff I would have never wanted her to witness. So it was the grace of God, ironic that the grace of God that kept me from even being in this situation. So we had to allow ourselves grace. And even though I thought right now I should be done with school, like by 30, I'm done with school. Why am I 31 in a doctorate class? Because Jesus told me that's how I was led. That's the path, the purpose I was led to go to. So I can't not do it, because if I don't do it, the Lord has a way of bringing it back to your remembrance. He has a way of just bringing it back. So I also thought that, and that's another thing, that's what I'm gonna get to with my career. I thought that I should have been, like I said, when I when I was in second grade, and my best friends on here, they could tell you, Nalita and Paige, they could tell you, oh, she was going to law school. Like all my line sisters, everybody said she going to law school, because that was what I had in my mind. Even after teaching, I was like, I'm going to law school. I'm going to law school. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to law school. So I was teaching, taking the LSAT while teaching, and I was going to law school. It was not my path. It was not what I was supposed to do. And I didn't even accept teaching as a calling. Every time somebody told me growing up, or I don't think growing up, like when I finally declared a major, well, I declared a major before I got to Martin, and it was English. And they said, so you're going to be a teacher. I said, no, I'll never teach. Y'all, look at me now. 10 years in teaching. Like, this is the only consistent job that I've had. Like, teaching is my job. That's on my track record. And I said it out of my mouth. So we have to be careful too. Like, make sure, like, if it's not aligned with his will, he's gonna he made every path. Every time I had trying to get a job for something else, when I got out of, let me say, when I got out of college, I didn't want to be a teacher at all. Like, no. So every time I tried to get out of get a job out of college, I got out of college in 2012. I graduated from UT Martin, and I said I'm gonna take a year off so I could study for the LSAT. And I had we got 10 more minutes. I want to make sure I'm being conscientious of people's time. So I was like, I'm going to take this year off. I'm going to work, and then I'm going to go to law school. I'm going to take the LSAT because I know it's a test, and I'm not a good test taker, so let me go ahead and get my mind together for it. The only job that I could get with my English, my bachelor's of English, arts in English, was teaching. I went to Enterprise. They had a little train. I think they still have a trainer program. They were like, you need more work experience. I was like, well, I just graduated. Like, it was crazy. Even though I had experience from college working, they didn't want it. So, got hired on the spot without a license to teach, because I have a bachelor's in English. They considered that highly qualified to teach. So then, okay, I'm talking about grace here. I'm trying to tie it in. So then I got the job. I started in August, the middle of the school year. I had never taught before in my life in an alternative school. It was in Haywood County, but yet it was alternative, okay? I had kids who had been to Wilder, and it was rough. Many days I said I was gonna quit. Like, I was like, oh, I know. I was like, this is a sign from the Lord. This is just a stepping stone to law school. Okay, Lord, okay, I see what you're doing. That's what I really thought. So then I worked there for 2 years, and then I got married, and then I moved to Fayette County Schools. Got that job by the favor. It was really the favor of God and the grace of God that I got that job. I still had no teaching license, y'all. I had a transitional license. I'm saying I didn't have a professional teacher's license. I got it. But I'm saying I was qualified to teach because I have a bachelor's in the subject. And I had, the test and everything. But I hadn't taken the classes to, get the license yet. Because I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to just, okay, I'm going to teach this 1 year at Fairware, and then I'm going to law school. I'm going to law school, y'all. This is the 3rd year teaching. So I go here, and they saying I have to take this test, and I have to be enrolled in something, or I'm going to lose my job. And I'm like, oh, okay, I just got married. I need this coin. So I said, all right, let me take this. And I talked to some people, he like placed me with people, friends who were like, oh, go to Free Hardeman. They have an online thing. They work with teachers. You can get your license there, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll get the license. You know, it'll be something to fall back on if, you know, law don't work. Or if I just decide I want to go back to teaching, which I was like, nah. Them kids at Haywood had ran me low. I was like, nah, okay. So I go to Fairware, I enrolled at Free Hardeman. And then I find out as I'm going through Free Hardeman, it's easy too. Well, it was easy to me. First, let me go back. I had to take a test within 2 weeks of getting my job. I didn't study for the test. I didn't look at anything for the test. I took the test. I made the score, like the exact score I needed to continue and keep my job. So then I started Free Hardeman. I got was in the licensure program. Then I was like, well, I might as well get this master's because it's only 5 more classes to get the master's. And now that I already paid all this money, I'm going to get the master's. I'm going to get this paper degree. I mean, you know, paper letters behind my name. So I get my licensure. By this time, when I'm finishing my license part and everything, I'm transitioning to Shelby County schools. I was at Fairware, that was my 3rd year. Then my 4th year, I'm going into Shelby County schools. And that's where I got a job at Cordova. So I got interviewed. She said she enjoyed me, but she didn't hire me right then. So I had another interview. I had like 2 other interviews because it was like a hiring fair. So I had 2 other interviews from other schools, and I was like, okay, well, I'll go there. It'll be all right. I hadn't quit Fairware yet, but I wanted to work at Shelby County Schools for the pay raise and because I was tired of putting gas and miles on my car. And so before I got out the parking lot, my principal who hired me called me and said, we don't have time to not hire you. And I think you said something about an interview. We don't want them to have you. We want you. And so she got me and I came to Cordova, and that's where I've been. And they were looking at my TVAS scores, like my scores, and I didn't even know my scores were good. So when I was at Haywood, my TVAS scores were trash, like they were low. And it was really because I was the only English teacher. I didn't have any mentor. I didn't know what I was doing, y'all. I knew how to teach them. I knew the content, but I hadn't had that training yet. So then I went to Fairware and I got a mentor. She helped me through that whole year to help me to where I was. Then I went to Cordova and just kept moving up. So it was grace. But at that time, y'all, all during this time, I'm like, I'm going to law school. Like, I was really like, I'm going to law school. Okay, Cordova, Wolfpack. I'll give y'all that because I worked there, but I went to Overton and graduated. Thanks. So anyway, I was still saying I was going to law school. And it wasn't until like real recently that I had to reevaluate my life, like around the pandemic, and say, okay, this is your purpose. This is what I put you on. Like, I had to really relinquish what I wanted so that I could walk into what he wanted me to do. And I wasn't trying to go back to school. And then I started seeing things. I said, well, maybe I should apply for this. And I prayed on it. So I applied to Vanderbilt for this doctorate. It was a whole long, drawn out thing. And I just didn't get in. So I was like, okay, that's a sign that I'll just wait for law school. I'll wait until Carrie get about a certain age and then, you know, whatever. So then I was told about the school that I'm at now. And I decided to go there. And I got in like this. And I said, okay, well, you know, maybe, you know, I'll get this doctorate. But I was still in some ways like, okay, maybe I'll go to law school. And I had to allow myself the grace to know, like, that's not the path you're supposed to go. Like, walk into the purpose and every door will be open for you. And when I look back on my journey, every door was open. The favor was there. Even though it may not have been favorable, it wasn't, I'm not going to say the door was open and, you know, it was laid out for me. However, it wasn't always comfortable. In Haywood, it wasn't comfortable. In Fayette County, it wasn't comfortable. And times in Shelby County schools, it hasn't been comfortable as far as in my teaching career. So like, I had to learn, okay, just because it's not comfortable doesn't mean this is not the purpose that you're supposed to be in. So I had to allow myself the grace, like, okay, you gonna be all right. You just keep walking, allow yourself grace. You may not have the house, you know, that you own yet, or you might not be in the car that you want to be yet, or you might not be making the money that you want to make, but every day that you have breath in your body, you have an opportunity to do that. So don't stunt your growth and sit there and make sure that you are moving forward to grace. You're moving forward with grace. And then you also, like I said, you have to allow other people grace. They may be rude, allow them grace. Show love, no exes. Like, allow grace, show love, no exes. If they not the people that you supposed to be in covenant with, if they not the people that even if they're assigned to you, they don't have to have access to you. Okay? They don't have to have that access to you. So, this podcast, we were talking about grace, and I think that's all my notes that I have. Yes. So, are there any comments? Yes. Allow grace to the people. Allow grace, show love, no access. You heard it here on the episode 2 of the Collect Your Life Incorporated podcast. I will be putting it in quotation marks, so y'all don't be trying to steal my phrases. Put it in a quote. Make sure you say that you got it from here. Allow grace, show love, no access, period. Or maybe it should be exclamation mark. But anyway, I appreciate you guys for coming and being a part of this live. Please share this video to someone who may need to catch the replay, and make sure that if you would like to donate to the wish list, I will try to put it in the comment. Oh, you stole my stuff? Friend, how you gonna be my bestie? It be your best friends that try to steal already stolen. She ain't gonna steal it, y'all, because she my best friend. So, make sure that you look at the wish list. I'm trying to see if I could copy it. Y'all know these. I'm trying. Hold on. Oh, I can copy it. Give me just a second. I'm about to put it in the comments now, so you guys can see the wish list for the Collect Your Life merchandise launching. Going to share. With the people. Okay, there we go. Okay, I can put it in here, I think. If it'll let me. It's gonna let me comment. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna have my glasses on. Okay, so that's the link to the Amazon wish list for the Collect Your Life merchandise line. We will have a few things, and you'll see those things coming up. I really appreciate you guys. Y'all are like my loyal supporters. Always liking stuff. Like, I really appreciate y'all. And be looking for like coupons on these merchandise. If you've been on these lives and stuff like this, you've been sharing and stuff, you may be in a drawing, I don't know. So you may get some free merchandise. So make sure you, if you don't want to know how to do Amazon, I'm also going to put my, if you would like to donate, my Cash App on here as well. I do have Square coming up, but I'm still working the kinks out on it. So that's my Cash App if you would like to donate. Let me try to share this. Can I pin this? Okay. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm sorry for running over time. I'll try to keep it at 35 minutes, but we're like at 40. But I really appreciate you guys for coming on to the live and being a part of this. Yes, merchandise, we're coming through. And please, again, share this to your timeline. Share this with people that you think will be a part of this. Also, we do have topic selections that for the next week. We have a rotation of topics. I'm trying to see why my necklace look crazy. We have topic selections that will be on the page. So please comment your topics. We have a rotation for the next podcast. Episode 3 will be October 15th. So please make sure you're tuned in at the same time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And we appreciate you for joining us, and have a great night.